I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Okay. The Acolyte, season 1, episode 4, I believe. I don't know at this point. Oh God. Yeah. So I want to address a lot of things. A lot of things. As you guys know, my review for the other 3 episodes are up. If you want to go see that before this one, go ahead. But this is all spoilers, so get ready for it. Yeah, let's just dive right in. So in the last review, I didn't really go into the lore-breaking elements of the Acolyte. To me, I don't really care about the lore-breaking elements, because again, I'm not that deep in the lore. I watch Star Wars, yes, but I don't remember everything and all the nuances and all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I watch, a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, and Star Wars is not it wasn't I liked it, I loved it when I was a kid, but it wasn't like that much above other things that I loved, like Spider-Man or other stuff. Anyway, so that being said, I do remember watching the prequels again when I was a kid. And I really enjoyed them. Then I didn't enjoy them as an adult. Now I'm enjoying them again, rewatching them again after the sequels, because they're not prequels or sequels. And the sequels, at least the later half of the sequels, kind of dove off a little bit, with Solo and all these other ones. I didn't enjoy as much. Rogue One, great. But yeah, so yeah, there are some aspects I enjoy, some aspects I don't enjoy. But again, all of it storytelling, nothing to do with the characters. Don't care that they're female, don't care that they're black, don't care about none of that stupid shit. So, because again, anybody could be a Jedi. There's right behind me. There's whatever that thing is right there. If that could be a Jedi, a girl, or a gay guy, or a gay girl, or a black girl, or an Asian girl, anybody could be a Jedi. If whatever that is could be a Jedi. That's all I'm saying. These are Padawans, right? Anyway, so that being said, the lore-breaking aspect of the show, last episode, again, my friend has to tell me because I'm not up to date with the lore. I don't really care about the lore of Star Wars like that. He said something about that in the prequels. They had said that Anakin was created by the Force or whatever. I thought Anakin had a mom. And I don't know about his dad, but I thought he had a mom. So I'm like, didn't he have a mom? Yeah, but it was created by the Force. It was like immaculate conception type of shit. And I was like, okay. And then they're basically saying that he's saying, that if these girls were made by the Force, then it's the same thing, or it tarnishes his legacy or something. And I'm like, first of all, they didn't specifically say that in the show. They said, how they're going to be created or whatever. So I was like, they technically didn't say that. So we don't know yet how they were created. It could have been in a test tube. Who the fuck knows? Clones of somebody. Who knows? But they didn't say they were created by the Force. So we don't know. That also being said, they use the Force differently. So the way that, I don't know who he said, Plagueis or somebody used the Force or whatever to create Anakin, this could be a different way to create somebody else or whatever, but also with the Force. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter to me. That aspect of Star Wars, I don't care about, right? I care about the lightsaber battles. I care about the story, the hero saving the planet, saving the galaxy from the Empire, yada, yada. The dichotomy, the what do you call it? The differences between the Empire and the Jedi and why they're good, why they're bad, how one can turn into bad. That is interesting to me. And I thought this show would be exploring that a little bit more, right? Again, with the Jedi, how they ruled over everything and why the Empire rose, even though the Jedi, existed and have existed for, a long time, and their rule was DK peaceful and DK great. So how did the Empire rise? How did they get followers? How did they get people? Because they got before the Clone Wars, before they created all these clones, they had people that were for the Empire. So how did that happen, right? And how was evil bred in a galaxy where everything's supposed to be peaceful, right? So that's the interesting thing to me to explore, right? Because there are good things about the Empire, and there are bad things, obviously, about the Empire. But there are also good things about the Jedi, and I feel like there are also bad things about the Jedi, and we haven't explored that. And I feel like that's more interesting story that I thought we were going to explore here. Kind of a story about, or I thought the Acolyte was going to be more about the Sith and their rise and why they exist and the reason, so that you can kind of be like, oh, I kind of see, like a Killmonger, like I kind of see why you're right, or Thanos or whatever. So anyway, that'd be way more interesting than what this show has given me. Even in the slightest, I wanted this show to at least give me fight scenes that were awesome, right? Lightsaber battles that were great or whatever. Something like that. And again, initially started off not that bad. The first scene of this show will have you think this show is amazing, right? Or the first episode, where they have a Trinity from the Matrix fighting some random girl, and it was a good fight. It was a good fight. The choreographer did their thing, as I said in the last review. They should just let the choreographer do their fucking thing on this shit. But the second episode, a little bit more boring, but there was at least that fight scene between, again, May and Soul and the other Jedi or whatever, and she kind of, evaporated dust or whatever, like she did a Batman poof of smoke and disappeared, and it's like, okay, cool, whatever. But, and then also the story between the twins, I thought was going to be more interesting, but it wasn't. So, okay. Then the third episode came, and that's when I was like, okay, super disappointed. But again, because of the story. Now, I have said this about the Filoni, because Dave Filoni is the one kind of running all of these shows. I know everybody's like Kathleen Kennedy or whatever, but Dave Filoni kind of runs the like at Disney Plus, the show versions of these things. So I feel like all of his shows, all of his things have to do with, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy obviously is the one in charge of everything. But I think they gave Dave Filoni like creative whatever to like his characters for like the Ahsoka series and Mandalorian and all this other stuff are like a big part of this, the TV shows of the Disney Plus thing. So I think he's running this, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But his thing, ever since the Book of Boba Fett, I've said, the problem with the Filoniverse live action stuff is that he still thinks he's running a cartoon show. Things have to make sense. In the cartoons, you watch stuff, you're like, oh, that was cool, oh, whatever, and things don't make sense. Time doesn't make sense. The way characters get there, the reason characters are dressed all the same, like every day for the whole series or the whole season, like characters don't change clothes because they're cartoons. It's just assumed, okay, this guy's going to be wearing this outfit for the rest of the season because that's who this guy is, right? But in the TV series, you're saying this is real, right? This is, or we're trying to say this is in a reality of a place where this does exist. And there's just stupid things that are done that don't make any sense. In the last episode, right? Episode 3, May said, I'm going to go kill the fucking Kalnaka, whatever. The Wookiee, the Wookiee Jedi. I'm going to go kill him. Okay, cool. We're going to go to this planet. We're going to go kill him. All right, cool. While she's doing that, Soul and Osha and the team wanted to follow her, and Soul was told, nah, come back to the Empire. I mean, the Jedi Council, whatever. Come back to Coruscant, and we're going to have a meeting. I'm like, yo, y'all talking through a hologram. Why can't you just have the meeting holographically? And while he chases this fucking Sith person that's killing Jedi, she's gonna go kill another Jedi. We have intel she's gonna go kill another Jedi, and you're just like, nah, let Kalnaka fucking deal with it. Let him die. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, they go to the Jedi Council, Coruscant, blah, 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 which again, the way that these places look, cheaply made, whatever. They go there, and then they still have time to make it to the planet that May directly went to, and still meet up with May, like, almost as soon as she finds Kalnaka. They are there, like, oh, yeah, we're here. Like, even though they didn't have a god, well, they have the dog, the dog Jedi thing. I don't know what he is, a hound, a beaver, whatever that was, that kind of smelled Kalnaka's stuff and was like, oh, I could find him. But anyway, it's incredible to me. I'm like, time doesn't make any sense in this universe. And that happened before, too, when in the first episode or second episode, whatever, where they were arresting Osha, and they were like, all right, we're gonna go to this planet or whatever, and then somehow Osha made it to a different planet or something like that, and they were coming from where they just arrested Osha and put her on this random ship, and then with other prisoners or whatever, and then they made it back to their planet. The ship was still traveling somehow to the planet, right? The Jedi planet or whatever. And they crashed, right? And then they're like, oh, we got to go get her and then go back to pick her up. And I don't know. It was just, time just doesn't make sense in this universe. But again, they're treating it like a cartoon. Like the scenes don't make any sense. Character motivations also in cartoons, that's fine. They change, they ebb and flow. You're like, oh, okay, he's evil now. Oh, he's good now, or whatever. Like sometimes you just is disposition of belief because it's a cartoon, right? You're just enjoying the ride, like the fun and the stuff. But for this main villain, she's a villain. May is a villain. Let's say she's killed 2 Jedis. Everybody's after her. She saw her sister being alive in the last episode, travel all the way to another planet to then travel through the forest with this guy to kill Kaunaka, and then halfway through is like, you know what? My sister's alive. Like, you knew that hours ago. And she's like, and I think I'm gonna side with my sister. So I'm gonna go with the Jedi now. I'm gonna leave the Sithing to you people. It's like, what the fuck? Out of nowhere. To me. No, and again, if this was built up over time, if they had given this show more episodes, actually, no, fuck no. Because even with the episodes they have, I feel like they're struggling to tell this story. So I'm just saying, like, if they had, I don't know, an episode dedicated to her, maybe her and May and Osha together, struggling to, even though they hate each other right now, to like struggle through something, to get through it together, and then realize, hey, we are sisters, we do love each other, whatever. Build it. Not just, oh, you know what, I love my sister. Even though the last time you saw her, you said you were going to kill her when you were kids. And then the last time you saw her on another planet or whatever, she tried to kill you and you got away or whatever. And then your sister, Osha, I don't know how they don't sense each other's feelings, but Osha's just like, fuck my sister. She's like, yo, Jedi, go kill her if you want to. I'm out of here, deuces. I'm gonna go back to being a mechanic or whatever. Like, it's Soul that drags her and be like, don't you care about your sister? She's like, nah, I don't give a fuck about that bitch. Which is understandable because she said she was gonna kill me. Like, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so yeah, Osha's motivation makes sense. May's motivation just swiftly changed. Doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously, the big thing that everybody's harping on about is the fact that the Khmer, whatever, Jason from The Good Place, which is a good show, which you should actually watch. The Good Place, great show from beginning to end. Anyway, Jason, I call him Jason because that's his name in the show. Is it his name in the show actually? It's Keanu. No, but then he figures out as Jason. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, Jason in this show is obviously the Sith Lord. I mean, everybody thinks he's a Sith Lord. They kind of make it really obvious that he's a Sith Lord, so I'm thinking maybe it's not him. They're trying to make it seem like it's him, but it's not. He is, trapped allegedly in the forest. The only one that knows this fucking place, allegedly, because he's the guide for May, who didn't need him, by the way, I guess. And, he's trapped away in another scene, like basically another part of the forest, while the Sith Lord somehow killed Kalnaka and pulled up to all these Jedi and just, boom, biggest fucking force push I ever seen, even bigger than fucking Darth Vader. Just boom, baby, everybody backed up. But yeah, another thing they're talking about lore breaking is that one of the Jedi is like the pink guy with like the big forehead or the big head or whatever. He's apparently the same guy later on in the prequels. And so in the prequels they said, we haven't seen Sith in such a long time, they're extinct or whatever. And basically this is like breaking lore because this is before the prequels, and so they're saying, oh look, there was Sith and this guy was there and he didn't say anything, but he wasn't really there. He was told that this girl's killing Jedi, but they all think that it's another Jedi that taught her. So and then the other thing is that in this episode, the Saul makes he says the famous line, hey, when we get out of here, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, right? If you watch Attack on Titan, you already know. Oh, yeah, when I get back, I'm going to show you what's in the basement. We're not going to find out what he meant. Well, this show is crazy. They might just tell us next episode. Who knows? But usually when that happens, the character dies. We don't find out what they mean until way later, or it's revealed somehow through some secret thing by the villain or something like that. So I don't think that Soul's making it out of this forest. I don't think so. And which bums me out because he's like the best part of the show. But yeah, or they're gonna get separated somehow. They're never gonna find out until the ending or whatever. I don't know. But basically, usually when somebody says, "Hey, I'll tell you later," they're not gonna be there to tell you later. That's all. As far as I know, if they're going by the storytellers 101, that's usually what's gonna happen. And this show's very predictable, so I just assume that's what's gonna happen. But again, I have other theories that again would be better, I feel, than if the show actually, like if the show says Khmer, which is Jason's character, the Asian guy that's with May. If he is actually the Sith Lord or whatever that's training her, that's actually thing that he's keeping his identity a secret. It's corny. It's bad writing. I don't like it. But if he, if they, I mean, actually, it's still corny. I was like, maybe he'll turn out to be like their long lost sibling. Like he's a brother that they didn't know that they had. He was there the whole time, but he was kept away from them or whatever. I don't know, some bullshit. And that resentment and that buildup of their love or whatever is why he wanted to keep them separate and prey on May and make her evil like him or whatever to keep her from her sister or whatever. But he couldn't control their love. I don't know, some bullshit. It's corny. Anyway, my thinking is the actual what I actually thought was that the Sith Lord is one of the mothers, right? So at some point, I think May said, to Osha, I want to kill you or whatever. I think she might have been mind controlled because remember they did some kind of mind control thing where the guy had black eyes to the young Jedi dude, the one with that later had a scar on his face and he was just floating around and he just took the poison. He got like brainwashed or something like that while they were first there. The Jedi were first there to kind of attack the witches or whatever. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but basically I think that they did, whoever does that, one of the mothers does that, I think. Whoever does that did that to May, I think, to create a rift between the sisters. And the only one that I think would do that is not the black one because I think she died. I think it's the one that looks like Darth Maul. And I think she might be, it would be more interesting if she was the Sith. And the reason that she wants May to do the weird checklist of killing a Jedi without a weapon or whatever the fuck they mean, it's because they want to train her to use the Force stronger, right? Like if she could just crush this dude with the Force without having to, use a weapon or whatever, at least that's what I interpret it as, that's maybe like training her to be like stronger Sith or something like that. I don't know. But that would make more sense, right? That it's her mom that's on her side, that's not on Osha's side, that's on her side or on the Sith's side and wants her to be more into the Force and more evil and yada yada whatever. I'd be okay with that. But the fact that it might be Kamir or Jason, whatever. I just I don't know. I don't like it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It's just the writing of the show is amateurish. They're writing it again like as if it's a cartoon. Like literally, if this was a cartoon, all of the things that people are being said about the show, besides the lore breaking shit. Matter of fact, even probably the lore breaking shit, because they did lore breaking shit in all these fucking Filoni shows and nobody cares. But they do this shit or whatever and nobody would care, because it's a cartoon. They don't take it as seriously as the live action or whatever. But because it's live action, people really care. Now, the other thing was that Kathleen Kennedy, not the showrunner, I don't think, but basically the runner of all of Star Wars stuff, she said that people are hating on it because, there's a bunch of Star Wars has male audience and blah, 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 and it's a female lead or something like that. And I'm like, first of all, she's not the only lead. It's a cast. It's an ensemble cast. Yes, May and Osha are at the forefront of the story, but I wouldn't put them as the lead. I'd say it's an ensemble cast. Soul is there. It's also about who the Sith Lord is. Like, there's other stuff. It's kind of an ensemble cast, not really the lead. Whereas Fallout, to me, we were following that girl throughout the whole story. Fallout is definitely a female lead-led show or whatever, right? And we didn't really care about the other characters, whatever. Maybe Maximus was his name? Whatever, dude in the suit. But, again, as a love interest to the main character, which is her. Anyway, point is, Fallout, great show if you guys haven't reviewed it, but great show. I will review it. I loved it from start to finish. But female-led show. Great reviews. Great stuff. Male and females have watched the show. And again, Fallout is a very male-driven, more male-driven than, because I've met no women that have played Fallout. I've met women that played BioShock. But Fallout, very, very few. I'm not saying they're not out there. They're definitely out there. But I'm saying there's definitely less women that have played Fallout than men. I'm just putting it out there. I believe that. So basically the show, for it to have a female lead, should have actually tanked that show, but it did so good because the story is better, the way they tell the story is better, the way they treat the characters is better, the arcs are better, the scenes are better, the setting is better. I don't know, everything is just better in that show.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches, better money, my clothes better, my shoes better, I work harder, fuck Little Caesars, fuck Domino's.
people like the show. And the show stood on its own, right? This attacking, like, I don't care about attacking fans because some fans need to be attacked. I'm not gonna hold you. Some fans are like, oh, there's a woman here, there's a black guy, there's a gay guy, whatever. Those people will always be those people. Who cares? The majority wins when your show is good. When your show is good, none of the other stuff matters, right? Book of Boba Fett has an atrocious score, just like this show, because Book of Boba Fett was bad. It's just a bad show. It doesn't matter who the lead is. It's a bad show. Acolyte, so far, is a bad show. I don't know how they're going to turn it around. Again, two things these last two episodes have lacked, the first two episodes had, is good choreographed fight scenes. There was great fight scenes in the first one, an okay fight scene in the second one, nothing in the third one, but a flashback. But again, could have had a fight scene between the Jedi and the witches there, could have showed us that, didn't. You had a Jedi Wookiee, and you didn't have him fight the Sith Lord. We didn't see the fight. He got killed off screen. Could have had him fight May. Could have had him fight anybody. It would have been awesome. Didn't show that. Now, if in the later episodes they flash back and they show the Wookiee Jedi doing shit, they show Trinity doing some shit or whatever, like if they have flashbacks and they show these Jedi doing some shit, that's cool that they had a fight scene one-off or whatever, but I know they die, so who cares? At that point, we don't care about the character. The character's dead, we don't care. The struggle to survive, the Jedi Wookiee fighting against the Sith Lord, who we don't know who it is, going back and forth, whatever, and then the Wookiee dying, that would have been a cool scene in this fucking boring-ass, walking through the woods-ass episode. You know what? I said I wasn't going to get mad. I wasn't going to rant, but holy fucking shit. I'm actually upset. I'm watching The Boys, right? Which I will review. And I'm watching Game of Thrones. And to be honest, Game of Thrones, the first episode, a little bit slow, a little bit boring, ended in a great note. But even that, you know, had more action and more thing than this fucking, and this Star Wars.
Okay, fine. I'm cool. I'm fine.
Anyway, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I think I'm done. I think I'm all right. I'm right. I'm cool. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Show could have been better. I'm still gonna watch it. Next episode, I'll let you guys know if it does any better. There's only a couple left, so here we go. But yeah, story-wise, the show's just not there. Character-wise, you know, everything-wise, the show's just not there. Has nothing to do with breaking the Star Wars lore. It has nothing to do, at least for me, it has nothing to do with breaking the Star Wars lore. Break all the lore you want. Who cares? Give me a whole reboot of the fucking universe. I don't give a shit. Make it interesting. Make it cool. Make it something I want to watch. That's all I care about. Anyway, this has been another useless skill.